What's up, y'all? Jacob Klukas, Work the Crowd. Moving on to the Chicago Bears here. And here's the thing about the Bears. If I'm Chicago at this point, and this is a big if, because obviously in this scenario, Shedeur Sanders is already gone. But there is the possibility that has been talked about that Shedeur Sanders could drop in this draft. If you're the Bears, if Shedeur Sanders drops and he is available to you at pick 10, you're not drafting him, obviously. I'm looking to trade down, and I would look at a team like Pittsburgh, who could be, looking, if Aaron Rodgers hasn't signed by this point, you're scrambling to try to find a quarterback. I would look at Pittsburgh, call Pittsburgh and say, hey, what would you all want to trade, or what would you all give up to trade up and move back down? Because this Chicago team did a lot of good things this offseason. And I think a need for them is a running back. And it's not really a need, but if I look at Ben Johnson and the success he had with David Montgomery and Jahmyr Gibbs in Detroit, why would I not want to try to recreate the same thing with DeAndre Swift and said other running back in this draft? Now, obviously, I believe if Ashton Genty were to fall, I think Chicago's going to snatch him and take him. But in this scenario, he doesn't. And as much as I really like Omarion Hampton, I'm not taking him at pick 10. So, unfortunately, with Shedeur Sanders not dropping, we're not going to look to trade down. So, what could the Chicago Bears do then at this point? We could look at Malachi Starks potentially to help upgrade this defense. We could look at another pass rusher as well. This Chicago team was very good on defense last year. I know they lost Eberflus, but we could look to add. You can never have enough pass rushers to begin with. So let's look to pair up somebody with Montez Sweat. I'm looking at a guy, Mike Green, out of Marshall, who I really, really like, and the production that he had at Marshall. And I could pair him alongside Montez Sweat, and I think that would be really big for Chicago. So now, second round. Now, this is where at the running back position we could look at. So when I look at potentially having a Montgomery and Gibbs of our own in Chicago, I think Swift is more of the Gibbs in terms of the receiving back and everything. So we got to find somebody that's willing to be the powerhouse back. Cam Scattaboo, and he's a little bit of a do-it-all. I think he's kind of built for Chicago. Again, I've said I really like Cam Scattaboo, but I think his full potential could be unlocked with the right coach, and maybe that right coach is just Ben Johnson. I'm going to take Cam Scattaboo in the second round right there. Second pick in the third round. Second pick in the second round. This is where we could look to go safety potentially. Xavier Watts falling to them right there. We're going to go him in the second round. And then third round, last pick of this video right here. We could look to shore up defensive line. I'm going to look at a potential another offensive lineman. I'm going to we could go Wyatt Millum. But I'm going to take another guy that I really like instead just to try to change things up here. And I'm going to take Charles Grant out of William and Mary, another guy that has a lot of guard flexibility but can play the tackle position. So we'll take him there. Here we go. Bears fans, Mike Green, round one. Get yourself another pass rusher next to Montez Sweat. Then we go Cam Scattaboo in the second round to be the workhorse back. Xavier Watts in the second round as well to help shore up this secondary. And then Charles Grant for some offensive line depth. Bears fans, how we feeling? We got to feel really good going into next year 2 of Caleb Williams and year 1 of Ben Johnson.